starts now.
Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning for our First Alert 6 streaming. A lot to get to. It's good to have you here. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, along with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord, Meteorologist Jared Lansford, who is tracking the after effect of all that snow, and it is a busy morning out there on that road. Just behind me, another crash.
Yeah, we're starting with the traffic because it is so busy. We're going to have that forecast from Rusty in just a bit, but let's check in on where the road conditions sit because it is getting pretty busy on the roads with issues. We're starting on 480. This is southbound as you're getting just past Martha, and you can see this crash blocking all but the right lane at this point, so you need to stay right, be ready for delays. We're starting to get a few of these crashes in different areas. This one causing delays that stretch back toward almost Leavenworth as you're going southbound on 480. You can see some delays that do last through that interchange with I-80 this morning, and those are some areas that could be slick. Watch those ramps, those interchanges. We're also watching a few other spots. This is a still image of what we have on I-29 as you're going northbound approaching Highway 92. And you notice right there, that's a semi that's in the median that has slid off the road there. So the left-hand side is blocked as a result of that one. You're looking at some delays as you head through that stretch. So a couple of different crashes. We've had a number of them on I-80 early this morning with vehicles that appear to have maybe slid off the road. So use caution. There's one of them that we've had over on the right-hand side as you go eastbound I-80 just past 680. So it's a morning of using extra caution, leaving plenty of time for that morning drive. Watch for also some stalled vehicles. We've had this stalled truck here that is making our way from Dodge eastbound to 680 for several hours now. That's still in place, so you need to use some caution as you head through that stretch if you're trying to get to 680. And really the story of the morning is just being prepared for varying conditions as those crews get out and about and work those roads. We've been watching how things are looking on different roads. Dodge, as you get around 84, 72nd, has improved drastically from the time we started the newscast. But we have other roads that still have some of that thin layer of coating as the crews continue to work to scrape that snow up. That gets packed down in areas that become slick. Watch the intersections as a result of that. We've also got some areas where you're still looking at clearing taking place, like neighborhoods. So it's going to be a morning and just caution. It's the first time we've had a snow this big in quite some time. It's easily the biggest snow we've had this winter, so people kind of adjusting to that. A little extra time going to be a great idea, and using that caution as you're making your way out the door. Of course, we're going to continue to track things. We're going to take a closer look too at some of the cameras that we have, give you some live views, and also the road conditions map in a little bit.
Anytime you have to start and stop, anytime I did that, I was sliding into the intersection. So
it's
be so careful.
Good test of the tires, the brakes.
All that. All right, Rusty, we want to know, how much snow did we get?
What? A lot.
A lot.
Should I keep? Okay. I got to fill all the. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You want more info than that? All right. Let's talk a little bit about how much we got here, because it's good. The crews are going to be able to catch up here very, very quickly this morning because there's no new snow falling. So they'll be out on the roads. They'll be able to plow and not have anything blown back over the roads either. But this is where we were. It started snowing around 3 to 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. By 6, 7 p.m., we got 3 to 4 inches in several spots. That's an inch an hour, sometimes even more. And once we got to that point, I knew we were going to go to the high end of our forecast range. We had 3 to 7 in the forecast, and we went above that in several spots. Look at Bennington, got almost 9, 8.5 in Boys Town, 8.3 Epley, 7 Millard. Weather Service office in Valley got 6.2, a little over 6 inches at Offutt. Atlantic a little over 5. David City had about 5 as well. And you go farther south of Nebraska City and the totals drop off pretty quickly. So that's where we were with this one. Again, we'll get more totals. This is just kind of what came in overnight. And there'll be more and more of these come in. And we'll try to put it all in one place so you can see what you got. And again, if you don't see your city there, we still measure snow the old-fashioned way. With ruler, tape measure on a hard surface in a couple spots. Give us the average. There's your snow total. That helps us out quite a bit. You can see that's off towards the east now. The clouds are moving out, and they will continue to do so to the point where at least it looks a little better, and we'll try to warm up. We have temperatures that are in the teens right now. Nothing warm as you step out. 3 in York at the moment. So the cold air kind of settling into some of the valleys here in spots, and feels like temperatures single digits above and below 0. That's where we'll be for the next couple of hours. The winds will gradually die down into the afternoon. We will see gusts near 10 miles per hour to end the day. It's just going to be a cold night everywhere as we see the numbers drop off again tonight with the clear skies and the light winds. But you can see by 9 o'clock we're up to 14. We're trying to warm from there. By noon we're up to 20. And we'll get some sunshine through. It might not ever be perfectly sunny, but we're going to have more and more of it each and every hour of the day. 24 degrees by 5 o'clock, a high of about 25. And then temperatures will drop off quickly tonight. We'll see high clouds build in from the southwest, and we'll fall to 14 degrees, and then may actually climb a little bit at times heading towards tomorrow morning with these clouds. That's where we start off Saturday. Saturday goes to 29 for the afternoon high after the cold start, and the clouds moving out, so that's a little bit better. And with direct sunlight in upper 20s, you can usually get some melting done. And you can see where we're going to be here over the course of the next couple of days. We have a lot of cold air that's going to be in place here for a few days. Once you get this much snow on the ground, it's tough to warm.
Yeah.
So the next couple of days, we're going to be in this frozen zone, essentially. When do we get out of it?
There are signs. It doesn't look quite as good as it did before the snow. Again, you start to melt this off and some of the numbers get a little bit better. Average high right around 40 degrees this time of year. We're going to be below that at least through Monday. Try to get back above that by Tuesday. A surge of some warmth trying to show up by the end of the 10-day forecast here. So no new snow added to this in the near future. You can see 40s, 50s, right near 60 by Friday. So you have a little patience. Even that 29 on Saturday with afternoon sunshine, that'll kind of start the melting process. Even those upper 20s, when you have the sunlight on the pavement, that'll start to warm up the pavement a little bit, and that can start to melt things.
Looking forward to the warm-up, but not complaining. I said I wouldn't complain, remember?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good run up until this.
Right.
All
All right, Rusty, thank you. Well, first alerting you to the snowy road conditions that could impact your morning commute.
Our Maria Cade is in the First Alert 6 Storm Tracker with a live update. She's been there all morning. Maria, how are the roads looking now?
Aaron and Cerise, right now we are driving northbound on 680, moving through here during the morning commute. There are a few cars on the road now, but most of us, we're all making our way through this pretty slow. The road isn't too bad, nothing too crazy to drive on. As you could see, there is a light dusting of snow, but nothing that's really coming up and affecting the drive too much. Where we're really seeing those major problems is when you get onto the side streets or roads that aren't the main roads. So you want to take it really slow, give yourself extra time if for any reason you need to head out this morning, but give the crews time to clear those roads. Right now they're making their way and clearing off the main roads, but when we look at these side streets and some of the roads that aren't as major, that not as many people are driving on, those are going to be the trouble spots. So just make sure you take it slow this morning, give yourself extra time as you make your way out for your morning commute. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back, everybody. Taking a live look at Epley Airfield this morning. Flights moving along pretty good despite all the snow we got overnight, just in case you have travel plans.
They got those big snow clouds.
Yeah, they do. They got the good stuff. All right, let's check back in with Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord here in the Weather Center. The snow has stopped. That's the good news, but the cold, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the clouds have moved out here during what's typically our coldest part of the day. Now you got the snow cover, and that's when temperatures can really drop off. So the snow is done. Then we're looking east. There's the clouds moving east, and now we just got to clean it up a little bit. So the cold sunshine for cleanup, that's what we get today. This weekend, temperatures are going to stay below average with some frigid mornings. Next week, temperatures will recover. We'll get some melting. It's a slow process, though, and we should start to see those temperatures recover by the middle of next week. Satellite and radar showing the clouds moving out. The snow has done so very quickly, and you can see where we're at here when you take a look at the bigger picture. Now the cold air is starting to spill in. 12 in Omaha, 0 Valentine. We're at 4 in Pierre and 10 in Fargo. This cold air settling in. Not as bad as Casper, Wyoming, though. That's 18 below, so they can have that. We have temperatures that are at least above 0. We're at 12, feels like 2. A reminder that it's winter. That was a great start to February. 18 days in, we set a record for the warmest start to February. Now we're back to reality for a little bit. Current wind gusts, strongest ones are off towards the east. They're following the snow pretty quickly, so that's good news. Those are dropping off swiftly this morning. We'll go to 25 for the afternoon high, and then once that sun sets, we'll dip right back down into the teens. 10-day forecast goes to 29 on Saturday, and it looks like we'll start off with some clouds, but those should move out pretty quickly. Get those out of here, and that gives us a chance to warm up a little bit more. And 29 degrees should help warm the pavement up even more than that, and that could get the melting going just a little bit. But we're going to be freezing it back up at night, so a little freeze thaw, until we get towards Tuesday with a high of about 43 degrees there, and that's when we should start to accelerate that warming just a little bit. So the way things are looking there, things should start to improve, at least towards the middle of next week, all things considered. At this point, I think, again, the 20s and sunshine will start to do the job anyway with a little bit of melting.
Okay, we're not expecting to go back up to 50s, 60s, 70s. So what does kind of next week look like at this point?
Yeah, let's talk about that because we mentioned 40s at least in the middle of next week. And if we speed up the melting a little bit, some of these could trend into 50s. Held on to 60 on Friday and then 50s for next weekend. No significant signs of any storm systems here as we head towards the end of February. I believe Sunday here in the 10 days, the very first day of March. So let's talk about where we're at for snowfall for the season, because we were pretty short until we got the 8.3 inches grand total in Omaha and a little over 6 in Valley. So we're now ahead of last season's pace by about 1.5 inches in Valley and about 5 inches ahead of last season's pace in Omaha, but still below average. These are the 3 main reporting points where we have good, long-lived records that can stand up the test of time here. Lincoln still below average as well. So we've improved a little bit, but we're still not close to where we should be. But temperatures are going to be pretty warm, it looks like, into the early part of March. So we'll see. Again, we had a warm run, got a little snow on the tail end of it. We'll see if we can do that again in March. I still don't think we're done, just given how things are looking. So we just hopefully can get a little more mild temperatures, and whatever snow falls in March, it doesn't stick around very long.
Yeah, that's the good part. You know what? You did tell us we're going to get a big snow in February, so that was a big snow.
Didn't see that warm-up coming, though. I'll be the first to admit that. That was incredible, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I like the give and take. All right, everybody's waking up this morning, and all they want to know is, how are the roads? How's my morning commute going to be?
And it's going to be varying depending on where you're at.
True.
So let me show you the map, and that gives you at least a little bit of a sense of what to expect. You're seeing a lot of blues and you're seeing a lot of purples, and just as or pinks, I should say, blues and pinks. And as a reminder, it's been a while since we've looked at the road condition map after a snow. Blue is partial coverage of snow. Pink is complete coverage, and we've seen some of this improve over the last couple of hours as well. By the way, where you're seeing that purple color, that's travel not advised. That was the last report that came in from Pottawatomie County, so watch for that. Some conditions that could still be rough in those areas. We're getting a lot more blues showing up as the crews continue to work, so still partial coverage on a lot of those roads in and outside of the metro. So continue to use caution as you are heading out and about. Here's a view. We still have that crash on 480. as you make your way south just past Martha southbound, and only the far right lane being blocked. So watch for that. That's an area where we were having some delays. We also had a new crash that came in at 180th and Dodge as you're making your way off of Dodge to go to that exit from eastbound. So another spot where we are seeing some issues. And this kind of tells the tale pretty well. When you look at Dodge, right near 144th, it has improved, but there's still some snow on the road, 144th with plenty on the bridge. And then when you look a little further to the east, it's improved quite a bit. So this is what to expect as you head out the door. You're going to have conditions changing as you go about your drive, and things that will be slick in some spots, not in others. There's that crash I mentioned. And then also that other one that I will mention right around Dodge. You can see that's not affecting traffic on Dodge too much at this point. This is what I wanted to show you, though, how things evolve as the morning goes on. You can see steady improvement as we get toward midday. So the later in the day you go, the better travel will get. It's kind of the opposite of what I was saying yesterday at this point. It's going to be a lot better for the PM hours. If you're out and about this morning, it's going to be a good idea to use some caution and just be prepared for things to be slick in some areas. Watch those intersections, those ramps that always have more issues.
Okay, Jared, will do. Thank you very much. Now to another look at the current road conditions.
Yeah, Maria Kate has been live all morning long. We want to check in with her again from the storm tracker with what you should be aware of if you're heading out this morning. Maria?
Aaron and Cerise making our way east on Dodge, and this is probably the best that we've seen this road all morning. As the sun comes up here, you could see this section of Dodge is pretty much cleared entirely. It's been a very smooth drive as we're making our way into Midtown and downtown. Out west was where there were more of the problems, and that was sort of what I was experiencing as well when I was coming in this morning for my morning commute. Still working to clear that. There's a little bit of light dusting out west, but there are crews who are actively working to clear that as well. A lot of the major roads are going to look more like this. It's getting to the roads that's going to be the problem. Coming out of your neighborhoods and going down those side streets, those might be a little bit more difficult as you're making your way out throughout the day. But we have seen quite a few number of snow plows, trucks, a lot of crews who are working to clear the road so that we can all make it out safely. So that is what we're looking at right now on Dodge. Back to you.
Yeah, we have a lot of steep hills, especially if you get into the midtown and the downtown areas. Those are going to be, I think, the ones where you got to go slow, keep the brakes on.
Sure.
Okay, Maria, thank you. Updates now to first alert you to this morning. Omaha Public Works announcing solid waste collection will be suspended today. Earlier this morning, we learned Papillion Sanitation and Council Bluffs solid waste collection also going to be closed. Trucks will run their Friday routes tomorrow instead.
Now we're going to check in on flights at the airport. As you can see, a lot of green on the board. That's good news, except for one departure to Atlanta has been delayed, but that's going to start at like 7:26, so you should be good. If you're flying or picking someone up, it's best to keep a close eye on your or their flight status. Still ahead, baseball is back in the swing of spring training. Games, they kick off today.
We'll have your MLB update when we come back. Well, it may not feel like summer in the metro. Baseball season is heating up in Florida and Arizona as MLB spring training games officially start today.
Oh, such good time. So the Royals, my Royals, take on the Texas Rangers at 2:05 this afternoon. Jared's Chicago Cubs in action today. They take on their crosstown rival, the Chicago White Sox.
Let's go.
Yeah, other notable games today. The New York Yankees, they take on the Baltimore Orioles, and the San Diego Padres, that's close to you, face the Seattle Mariners.
I like that team a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in case you're wondering, opening day across MLB is March 26th. Man, that's coming up. That'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, and if you've never been to spring training, it's kind of fun. It's low key.
So fun.
They're just out there playing. You'll see some players you don't normally see, but
Yeah.
the food, you just get that baseball atmosphere, and it's not cold.
No,
Yeah.
and you have your blankets laid out. You can watch from the stands. They give the kids autographs with no
Yeah.
problem. My boys loved it, especially my baseball kid. He was in heaven.
I can't wait to get to it sometime.
Oh, you have to. You have
College
to.
baseball season's already kicked off.
Yeah, that's a
It's
good
been
point.
on nonstop in my household. So I'm up to date on everything. Yeah,
Plus, it's warm in Arizona.
I know. It'll feel good.
All right, I guess we got to go. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. Of course, you can watch it here in streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your weekend.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Friday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A lot to get to as far as the weather conditions and the roads. We'll start with Jared Lansford.
And we do have some issues on the road. Some spots have improved significantly over the last few hours, such as what you're seeing here as you're going on Dodge, approaching 84th. Even watch for some sun glare this morning. But we have a few crashes. That includes 480 as you're making your way southbound just past Martha. You can see only the right-hand lanes open at this point, so you need to use caution in that stretch. We've also got I-29. This is northbound. You've got two semis here that are off the road. This is as you're approaching Highway 92. So we have slick conditions that are present in some areas. You need to use some caution. It is going to be improving as we continue through the morning. Crews continue to get that chance to work at things. But as you can see, we have some slow areas. You're going to need to use some caution, and keep in mind that even though some spots have improved, others have not. So be on your guard as you make your way out and about. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Out there right now, we've gotten rid of the snow, so no fresh snow to add on to it. We can get to let those road crews make some big gains this morning and get a lot of those roads cleaned up. Clouds are moving out. Sunshine will help a little bit, but yeah, not going to warm us up much. We're at 9 in Fremont and Wahoo, 12 Omaha, Council Bluffs, 15 in Bellevue. Current temperatures in the teens in most spots, couple single digits showing up. Wind chills are single digits above and below zero as of right now. Those will improve a little bit today, but I think teens will probably be the best we can do. Not a lot of warmth to be found anywhere, and we'll climb to about 25 with sunshine over the course of the day today. That's the best we can do. It looks like a lot of 20s over the weekend with all this fresh snow cover. Let's send it out to Maria. She's got a live look at those roads as you're getting going this morning.
Yeah, Rusty, heading up on Northwest Radio Highway right now. This road is not too bad. It's been a pretty smooth drive as we're making our way up this road. We just came off of Dodge as well, Dodge eastbound around the Midtown area. It was almost completely cleared. So those main roads, the crews are working on them. They should be pretty good to drive on. It's the side streets that are going to give you a problem. So when you head out this morning, just make sure you take it slow and give yourself some extra time. We'll be back in about 25 minutes. Thank you.